My Mountaineers got absolutely boat raced in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Let's talk about it. What is up, college sports fans, fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? This is Coos. I'm here with you again for another edition of Coos' Corner, where I serve up college football and some college basketball content several times a week. If you like that, hit the red subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that thumbs up button if you like this here video. Share this with all you college sports loving friends. Please support me financially through Patreon or through YouTube memberships. You can do so for as little as $2.99 a month. You get perks that go along with that, and it helps me to grow my channel. Let's get on with the show. Before I give you my thoughts on West Virginia's 81-58 loss today to Oklahoma State, let's look at some team stats real quick. Field goals: West Virginia 19 out of 60, 31.7%. Oklahoma State 26 of 54, 48.1%. Three-pointers: West Virginia 7 out of 27, 25.9%. Oklahoma State 3 for 13, 23.1%. Free throws: West Virginia 13 out of 16, 81%. Oklahoma State 26 out of 34, 76.5%. Rebounds: West Virginia 24, Oklahoma State 48. Assists: West Virginia 7, Oklahoma State 13. Steals: West Virginia 7, Oklahoma State 5. Blocks: West Virginia 4, Oklahoma State 4. Total turnovers: West Virginia 12, Oklahoma State 15. Fouls: West Virginia 22, Oklahoma State 13. Technical fouls: West Virginia had 2. Gabo Saboyan got 2 and got ejected. Oklahoma State 0, and in largest lead, West Virginia led by 7 at one point in the first half. Oklahoma State led by as many as 25 late. Now let's look at some individual stats. For West Virginia, Malik Curry led the way in scoring with 13 points off the bench. Taz Sherman and Sean McNeil had 12 points apiece. Taz did it, though, on 4 of 16 shooting, just a rough day. 1 of 10 from 3. Shot just was not going in. Sean McNeil was 3 out of 5 from three-point range today. Also had 3 free throws, but did not get a lot of shots off in the second half. Just Oklahoma State's defense was blanketing him, was not letting him get shots. And Jalen Bridges struggled today offensively, only had 8 points. He did have 3 steals, though, on the defensive end, and he played extremely hard. Was giving everything he had, so hats off to that kid. And then Gabo Saboyan, like I said, had the 2 technical fouls. Did not play very well today. Was not his typical self. And Huggins was not happy with him at the end of the game and the way he got those technical fouls and just the way he acted on the court today. So that's not how he needs to represent West Virginia University or the team, and that's not who we are. So I'm sure he's in Huggins' doghouse right now. Oklahoma State. Musa Cisse, the transfer from Memphis, had 18 points and 10 rebounds. A big day for him. Had a lot of easy shots, a lot of lobs, a lot of dunks. West Virginia, several times, they didn't get back in transition on defense and allowed Cisse to get easy buckets. And, of course, we had no answer for him in the paint. Avery Anderson III had 18 points as well, and he got 10 of those from the free throw stripe. He was 10 and 12 from the line. Bryce Thompson had 13 points for the Cowboys. Hats off to Oklahoma State. They played better than West Virginia today, was the better team. Sometimes I fail to give the winning team credit the way I should. I got to do that today. Oklahoma State has nothing to play for from a postseason perspective. They're not allowed to play in the postseason this year, not even in the Big 12 tournament, because of the NCAA ruling that came down because of a minor recruiting violation. But yet Mike Boynton has his team out there playing with everything they got, giving it all, and wanting to win. Matter of fact, in my opinion, they wanted it more than West Virginia did, and West Virginia still has a chance to play for the NCAA tournament. I'm really disappointed in the team and the way they came out. It looked like, I'll just be straight up honest with you, especially in the second half, it looked like the effort wasn't there. Oklahoma State was getting the more loose balls. They were getting the more rebounds. Just it looked like they wanted it more. And that's, when a team still has NCAA aspirations on the line, you think they would be playing with more energy, more passion, more fire, just refusing to lose, man. And I just don't see that with this team. Now, they're not the most talented team out there. Let's just be honest. But there's been years in the past that West Virginia wasn't the most talented team, but yet they were still able to compete and even beat a lot of teams because of their heart and their hustle. I just don't see that with this team like it. Now, there's a few guys that are doing that. I mentioned Jalen Bridges earlier. Typically, Gabe is like that guy. Taz, does that a lot. But I just don't see an entire team stepping up and saying, we refuse to lose this game. Let's go do it. I just don't see it. And it's disappointing at times, but and I'm not saying the guys aren't trying. I think they're trying, but I just don't think they're trying with the same amount of zeal and energy and passion that some teams in the past have tried. Uh, some things Hug said in the post-game press conference. Obviously, he mentioned Gabe's technicals. Wasn't happy with that. He talked about how he had his talk with the guys in the locker room about West Virginia and their fans and how passionate they are about the team and how much they care. Said he actually got emotional, got almost teared up talking about it. But West Virginia, there's still about 11.6 thousand people on average showing up at the Coliseum for games, even though the team's been struggling. They sold the Coliseum out the earliest they ever had this season. Mountaineer fans are still showing up and showing out for this team, and I guess he feels like the guys aren't doing their part in putting forth the right effort. He says that guys aren't spending enough time working on their game, outside of practice like they were earlier in the year, which is starting to impact their shooting. He talked about how, basketball is a game of muscle memory, and when you don't continually work on your craft, then that goes away and you lose your touch, and your technique starts to go, and when the technique goes, the shot goes. So he's not been happy with the guys' lack of effort outside of practice and lack of working on their craft. And then Jay Jacobs, who was the color analyst for West Virginia basketball, made a statement to Hug. Hug said something about the guy. Didn't have the guys right now to do something specific. And then Jay Jacobs said, "Well, Hugs, you got to go get him." And Hug said, "Jay, it's easier said than done." But he went on to say that he's vowed to do everything he can to fix it, and that he's not going out like this. So that tells me that Bob Huggins is in. I said in another video, I think, or at least in conversation with somebody, that I don't see Hugs retiring after this year or stepping down, because he's not going to leave. He's not going to go out like this with a struggling team. Because he loves the state of West Virginia too much. He loves West Virginia University too much, and he wants to do everything in his power to give them a good product on the basketball court. And I think he'll do it. I think he'll go out in the off season, try to get some better guys. Will it work? I don't know. Next year we'll find out. But I got faith in Hugs. He's done. We went through this a few years ago. He vowed he'd fix it. Lo and behold, they came out with Press Virginia. So I feel like he'll do something to fix it. I don't know what that'll be, but we are losing several guys this year to graduation. So we're going, and we've got some talented young guys that are going to step up. We've got some freshmen in the 2022 class that's going to come in, or 2023 class, I guess, that'll come in, and are pretty highly talented kids. Should be pretty good. But he's going to have to go out and fill some holes with the transfer portal. So hopefully he can do that and get some guys that can contribute right away, especially somebody that can score on the inside. But, one thing I want a lot of these fans that want Bob Huggins fired, I don't get it. I mean, the guy has won over 900 basketball games. I don't know what else he has to do to prove himself to you to show that he's a good basketball coach. The guy's been to 2 Final Fours with Cincinnati and West Virginia. It ain't like he did it with Kentucky and Kansas and North Carolina. He did it with Cincinnati and West Virginia. And let's keep in mind, he's been to multiple Sweet 16s, multiple Elite Eights, makes the NCAA tournament just about every year. We've got a good thing going at West Virginia. He deserves a chance to fix this team and go out on his own time when he wants to go out. I think he's earned that. Now, if he continues to struggle, if this becomes a 2, 3, 4 year deal, then I might change my opinion on that. But right now, I don't think you'll ever find a coach that loves West Virginia more than Bob Huggins does. So why in the world would you want somebody like that fired? I just don't get it. If you were a true West Virginian and truly love the state, you've got to appreciate Bob Huggins, in my opinion. I'm not saying you got to be happy with the performance now. I'm not saying that. But you've got to appreciate what he's done, in my opinion, and we need to let him. I think he's earned the right to try to fix this team and get them back on the right track. That's just my opinion. You have a right to your opinion. I respect your opinion. But Hugs deserves a chance to fix it. Give him that chance. As far as the rest of the season goes, I look for this team, honestly, my honest expectations, they might win 2 more games. We got a lot of tough games coming up. Just don't see a whole lot of wins out there. Still got Kansas at home. Still got Oklahoma again. We've still got TCU 2 times, and they're a really good basketball team as well. Got Iowa State at Iowa State. They still have to go to Kansas State coming up this week. There's just going to be a lot of close games, and I just don't know. think this team will be fortunate, especially if they continue to play the way they're playing. I don't see more than 2 wins, which will be a 16-win season. That will not get them into the big dance, in my opinion. And they might get into the NIT. I hope they prove me wrong, and I hope they come out and start playing awesome basketball and just start winning games again. But I just don't see it because I thought they were going to do that this week. I thought they had turned the corner after they beat Iowa State. Then they come out and put forth the performance they did today. So I kind of think maybe that this team is just a Jekyll and Hyde team, and they're not able, for whatever reason, they're not either willing or able to bring the same amount of energy day in, day out that is required to win in this league. I hope I didn't ramble too much. These reaction videos can kind of go any direction sometimes. Didn't mean to go this long, but I appreciate everybody's support. If you liked it, please give me the thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please support me financially through PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Patreon, or by joining channel memberships. Links to all that are in the description box. You can join Kuz's Corner channel membership by hitting join right underneath the video. Thanks again for tuning in. Q Country Roads.